Hello, everybody. So it's doing that thing again. That is Spotify right now. I'll be right back. I'm eating. But I just wanted to talk about something because I like doing that. And also because it's my channel and I can. One second. I know I could have did this before I started the video, but I didn't. I know. Oh. Well, I'm almost done. Where's my cup? Where's my cup? Hello? Oh, here it is. Okay. Yeah, so. So this is what's like been playing in my head lately, I guess. I kind of want to hear this a little bit. Also, this is my liked songs on Spotify, so I'm not monetized, but that don't mean they can't take this video down. So lately, I guess I've been thinking about the element of earth in general. So I was out for a walk yesterday, and I carry a lot of ancestral, I'll say, trauma, a lot of historic trauma. It's not that I haven't had any racial experiences, because I have, but I mean, I'm still alive, so there are worse experiences that I could have. One second. But um, I've had a lot of experiences in my life where I've been like the only black person or one of the few black people. So I've always been like hyper aware of my blackness. And so I'm out here in a space. I haven't seen a single black person since I've been here. I'm like, Sonny, are there any black people out here? He was like, what are you talking about? Yeah. My hair like dry. Um, but anyway, I was on a walk the other day because he had an interview or a meeting. And I was like, I'll just go for a walk so I'm not in the place. Um, and I'm crossing people, and, I try to be friendly looking or whatever. And then something like hit me. It was just like, it was a feeling that I could release it, or it was a feeling of like remaking the world. And we continuously create and recreate our worlds in some part, regardless of how large or small our contribution is, we contribute. And it came to me earlier in the walk to like remake, basically to remake the world at that moment, to let go of being so aware, I guess, or of being on edge and just enjoying the walk. And so that was earlier in my walk. And then later in the walk, I passed somebody, and it's this lady with two dogs. They were off the leash. I saw her before she saw me. So thank goodness for those surgeries in December. I can see now, because before I wouldn't have seen them from the distance that I saw them at. And I noticed that she didn't have her dogs on the leash. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to get Amy Coopered. If you don't know who Amy Cooper is, she was the woman who strangled her dog, trying to call the police on a man who told her to put her dog on a leash in an area where they were supposed to be leashed. And I'm pretty sure this area where I was walking is the same, because I remember seeing a sign that was like, pets allowed if on the leash. And here's her two little unleashed dogs. They come running after me. They're tiny dogs, by the way. If they were bigger dogs, I might have been a little bit more intimidated. But here they come running, barking at me. It's a lighter dog and a darker dog. And first they were both barking at me. And then the darker dog turned on the lighter dog and started like barking at it, and it bit it. It didn't like bite it, but they started barking at each other. And she was like, "Oh my gosh." And then she called the dogs back. And the darker dog, it went back and she put it on the leash. The lighter dog was still yapping. She was like, "Oh, they don't bite, they only bark." And she was like, "Oh, if I would have seen you, then I would have put him on the leash. I'm so sorry." And of course I'm like, "It's fine." Um, and I think that little white dog, I think it bit at me a little bit. I'm like, ow, at my shorts. But it was just that feeling, that thought of like allowing the world to be something that it hasn't necessarily been, and creating a different story, or allowing for a different story to be created. And there's a lot happening in the world. Nobody necessarily has the answers. The state of the world has just been something on my mind in general. For the past week or so, I found a job that I really, really, really like. And so I was like, I want to make sure that like everything is right this time. So that's when I had the meeting about my resume, and I found out that my resume, it doesn't highlight the things that it would be beneficial to highlight. And there are experiences that I've had that weren't necessarily like jobs, but they're still notable experiences because they prove that I have some of the base competencies to do whatever it is that I need to do. And it's located in a pretty nice location. And I'm like, okay, where? But I'm talking to my buddy who's a Libra. I don't know if that's relevant or not, but he's really practical and realistic. And he's like, it's like, I want work that's fulfilling. I want work that's impactful. I also want to work for a company or work for people who care about people, or who are at the very least like decent people. And he was like, every company has like lawsuits. Like you're not going to find a company, because there was this one company that I wanted to, um, I guess I was selected to interview for a while ago. And that's when I was like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even have to look for this when it came to me. But I look up the company and I'm like a lawsuit that involves 40 out of 50 states. Like if it was a few states, I get it. But like 80%. And then I read the website and I read their mission, but then I read like what the lawsuit is about. And I'm like, there's a mismatch between what you say you're about and what you're apparently actually about. And he was like, every company has stuff. Like you're not going to find a company that doesn't have stuff. Like even like the companies that you want to, like the ones that you wanted to work for before, they even have stuff. And I was like, yeah, because one of them is Eli Lilly. They make insulin. And I'm like, what's up with the price of insulin anyway? Like they overcharge for it. And he's like, that's when he was like, you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of other people. And I understand. And then he literally said, he was like, it's a dog eat dog world or something. Like, ask my older brother, he'll tell you. And it's a part of that whole narrative stream that I don't want to contribute to. And then the next day or the day after, I'm on the walk and I have that thought. It drops in my spirit, as my mom would say, to not be so on edge, and to let the story be different. And then that puts me in an even larger place of wait, because I said it. Because like we're trying to move forward as a state, as a country, and as a global collective. And I feel that Like it's important for us to address things that need to be addressed rather than trying to just like gloss over it. And somebody tweeted something on Twitter the other day and I came across it and it was so perfect. Hold up, I'll read it. I was 9:20. I thought it was like 10 o'clock. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, this is exactly how I feel. I'll try to find it. Okay. It said, I would think that part of leading a spiritually sound life would be understanding and respecting the cultures of marginalized groups. God is not blind to oppression, nor is God a stranger to being used as an excuse to do whatever you want. And I was like, oh, girl, yes. But again, it puts me in this space of like, I don't know. It's the element of earth. It's the element of earth. Because in earth, there are seasons, right? Like there are phases to water, sure. But if the conditions are right, you can completely bypass phases. Like you don't have to go from a gas to a liquid to a solid, or from a solid to a liquid to a gas. You can go from immediately from like solid to gas if you want, or you can go from liquid to gas depending on the conditions. With air and fire, like they don't like they are what they are. But when it comes to earth, it's like it has to grow and you have to pour into it. And then it goes through this phase and that phase. And in this season, it needs different things. And if it's perennial, it'll come back. But if it's not perennial, then it won't come back or whatever. If it's deciduous, it's going to lose its leaves. So don't freak out when they all start to change colors and then fall. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, but again, like, I don't, can we just get there? I don't know. Like, I don't believe I have to sacrifice my morals and my ethics and my ideals to get work that is impactful. Like, I'm not the type of person who necessarily wants to be my own boss and who doesn't want to be a part of the system. Like, I wouldn't mind a cubicle job, honestly. I kind of find I like it. I don't know if it's my Neptune and Uranus and Capricorn or something in my ninth house, but I also have Capricorn on the 10th house. So like, I have no Virgo, just a little bit about me. I have no Virgo in my chart at all, but I have Capricorn cusping my ninth and 10th houses, especially that 10th house. And I have two placements in Capricorn, one of them being one of my rulers, Neptune. Now, a whole bunch of people got Neptune in Capricorn and Uranus in Capricorn. They're generational planets. But when I'm at work, when I'm on the clock, when I'm getting paid, all of a sudden I can be organized. I can like do everything that I can't do in my personal life outside of work as far as organization and structure. But anyway, like I don't mind it. I don't really feel the need to be different or to be doing my own thing. Does that mean that I won't be? Not necessarily. But again, and it's like you is it Dan Price or something like that? The CEO who like pays his employees well and stuff like that. It's like there are people out there. So which one of y'all light workers, like which one of y'all's mission is it to have a pharmaceutical company that sells at an affordable price that doesn't commodify health, that treats their employees well, that doesn't do all that like super weird testing, shady stuff? Like, which one of y'all is on that? Hit me up because I'm ready to get to work. And my spirit be like, boy, like it's your journey to do whatever and to become the person who has that company. Hello, like spirit, no, because I need to work now. Um, but I guess that's just like what's occupying my mind space lately. Um, I don't even know how loud this music is. One second. I'm assuming y'all can hear me because it's not extremely loud, but I really like this song. So if I could turn it up, I will. Oh, okay. It's a nice volume. Um, yeah, so that's where I am. It's this space of allowing things to be more than what they were, I guess. Allowing them to be different, realizing that although with the element of earth, the transitionary spaces take more time and it takes more resources. But at the same time, you still have to put in for where it is that you want to go. And so I guess that goes back to the paradox that we're supposed to learn to accept the world as it is, but also to allow it to be what we want it to be. Because at the end of the day, if you don't take into account where you are now, it's almost like you're not going to get there. It's very like, so with the element of earth, like a plant, it involves both the sky and the ground. You can't neglect the ground for the sky, and you can't neglect the sky for the ground. If either is not present or isn't in a portion that will allow growth, then the plant will die. Like these sad little plants over here. They're succulent, so I'm sure they're fine. Um, But yeah, I don't know why I wanted to talk about that. That's just where I am. I think I really like coming on and just talking about where I am, what I'm thinking about, what I'm processing, what I'm going through, because my journey now looks a lot different than my journey when I first started. My journey when I first started was processing a lot of heavy emotions and thinking about all kinds of stuff that I had been holding on to. And that's not too often my experience anymore. And if I'm encountered with anything that I need to address and let go, it's a lot easier for me to do it and it happens a lot more quickly. But yeah, that's what I was going to talk about yesterday. Those two little dogs and that lady who had her dogs off the leash. And I looked, I was like, and as soon as they got close enough, they ran over and started yapping at me. But it was fine. I don't know. Maybe that's where I am. Or maybe that'll be the version of the Pluto retrograde that I'll be more tuned into, allowing things to become, breaking out of the chrysalis, transitioning. It almost feels like phasing, like coming into a different phase, like shifting timelines, I guess. And it's like somebody has to be over there to anchor it. And I don't mind being an anchor. I mean, being an anchor in something new is a lot better than being stuck in the old stuff, comparatively. Oh, I love this song. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go. That's all I wanted to say. I hope you'll have a good whatever whenever you see this. Pluto retrograde is officially here. It officially came like yesterday. Um, but what else is coming up? Hmm, I don't need more time to choose, but I'm so ADD. Pluto and Juno. Is that Juno? Pluto and Juno are the only two retrograde right now. Saturn will join soon. Mercury will join soon. Others will join too, I'm assuming. Um, but yeah, I just wanted to share where my brain is right now and how I guess I'm processing. Because I don't personally believe, again, I guess I'm not done talking yet. I don't personally believe that I have to sacrifice what I want. Clarinda, what's up? How are you doing? I don't believe I have to sacrifice what I want to get what I want. I don't believe I have to sacrifice who I am to get what I want. And of course, we could say that, oh, the world's not there yet, blah 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 blah. You didn't miss anything, Clarinda. I'm just rambling today. And that's it. And eating some ramen noodle soup because I'm hungry. Um, and so there's a part of me that's like, just keep looking for it. It'll come. Or keep. So what I'm in the process of doing right now, I guess, is learning more of what I want and more of what I don't want. I guess areas in which I'm willing to compromise and sacrifice, and areas where I'm not. And I got a lot of fixed placements. I got two Taurus placements, an Aquarius placement, a Scorpio placement, and my Chiron is in Leo. I can be fixed. I can be stubborn. I got a lot of Taurus. But yeah, I don't know. I don't buy into it. I don't buy into it. And I know that enough things are changing right now. What I'd really appreciate, I guess, if there's anything that can come out of this tragedy, is that we're really sort of being forced to look at healthcare, especially in this country, in a different way. And I also saw on Twitter the other day, somebody was like, you know how the vaccines are free? Imagine if all healthcare was like that. And how like America is one of like in the top however many number of um, wealthy, I guess, countries. The US is up there, and it's like the only one that doesn't have like a universal healthcare system. Yeah, I am Clorinda. But I have like everything in my chart except for Virgo. So I can be super cardinal. I can start stuff but not finish. I'm great at starting, not at finishing, unless, Um, but even still, anyway, yeah, I guess I choose not to be in that paradigm, and I will continue to until I find something. So that's what I got. That's it. I need to keep working on my resume. That's what I'm doing now. I've been procrastinating. So, excuse me. But it's time to stop. And I'm really excited. Again, I found an opportunity that like I'm really excited about, which is why I want to make sure everything is right. And also, I'm finding a lot more of what I wanted, a lot more of like what would be really, really cool. And so it's just about finding the one thing that I guess lines up enough of them. So that's where I am. That's what I've been thinking about. That's what I've been doing mostly. Also, sleeping. I've been really tired since we've approached this Scorpio full moon, super pink full moon. Like, I took a nap earlier today. I woke up. I was like, I want more sleep. I just want to be in bed all day. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. No, I got to cook tomorrow. Maybe I'll go to bed early. Anyway, it was good to see you, Clorinda. I will catch y'all later. That's where I've been. That's what I'm up to. And again, I just like to share because I know a lot of times that I can speak strongly and that I can be quite opinionated, and I stand on my opinions. Um, but because I am, I think it's also fair that I come and I share the things that I'm actively thinking about, working through, the things that I'm noticing or experiencing. So that's that. And I hope y'all have a good whatever whenever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. Sometimes it's not about being unaligned, it's more about being misaligned. And when you realize that you're misaligned instead of being unaligned, I think sometimes it can be a lot more helpful because it's not that you're doing something wrong. It's just that like you're not applying it in the right direction in the way. Is this dumb blonde? You got me. Okay. All right, with that, I'm cutting this off. Bye.